Hello and welcome to the First Families Coronavirus Response Act, or FFCRA, form training webinar. I'm Colin Sainer with the UTA Office of Human Resources. I am a Human Resources business partner. Today we are going to go through the instructions on the FFCRA and also how to complete the form that is available on our website. This is a copy of the employee rights poster from the federal government, which is part of the FFCRA. You'll see here we've circled the qualifying reasons for leave related to COVID-19. There are 6 reasons. We are going to walk through what you need as far as backup documentation for 5 of these 6 reasons. I'd like you to please note number 6 on the form has not yet been defined by the U.S. government, so we will not be discussing that today. We also have 2 other videos on our website that will help you understand the FFCRA process. We have a definitions video as well as some case-based scenarios in the 3rd video that you may want to view later. Now you are viewing our UTA Federal Emergency Paid Sick Leave Request Form. I am going to take some time soon to walk through it. The first section of the form is ask for today's date and the personal information that you have pertaining to your leave. Please make sure you give us good contact information and also make sure that the beginning and end dates are listed. The earliest beginning date for this federal policy is April 1st, 2020, and the latest ending date for the program will be December 31st, 2020. Whenever you are completing this form, you will need to complete it in its entirety and then submit it to our Leave Services group for processing. This section is your reason for leave, and you'll need to please check all that apply. Most of the time, you will just be applying for one reason under the leave program, but there may be some situations where you will have multiple reasons listed on the form, and that's okay. This next section goes into detail about backup documentation needed in addition to the form when you submit, and we are going to discuss in just a moment the process of actually submitting the form. How do you apply? You obtain the form first, and you can get it from 2 places on uta.edu. One is our UTA coronavirus website, which is accessible from the very front of the UTA homepage. You can also get it from the University of Texas at Arlington Office of Human Resources webpage. And in both places, it will take you directly to the resources you need to process your leave request. So what exactly do you include with your application for FFCRA leave? In general, you include your name, the date for which you request leave, the reason, and a statement that you are unable to work because of the reason you selected above. So you will have the form, and then you will have your backup documentation, including that statement, and then any additional information, which we will discuss in some detail as we continue. If you are applying for either number 1 or number 4, if you request leave because you are subject to a quarantine or isolation order, or to care for an individual subject to such an order, you should additionally provide the name of the government entity that issued the order. This could be the federal government, a state government order, or a local authority such as a county or city. If you're selecting number 2 and number 4, if you request leave to self-quarantine based on the advice of a healthcare provider or to care for an individual who is self-quarantining based on such advice, you should provide additionally, the name of the healthcare provider who gave you advice. You will also want to have a doctor's note to support whatever situation you find yourself in related to COVID-19. Number 5, if you request leave to care for your child whose school or place of care is closed or the child care provider is unavailable, you must also provide the name of your child, the name of the school, place of care, or child care provider that is closed or become unavailable, and a statement that no other suitable person is available to care for your child. And this particular item here at number 4, which is number 5 on the federal form, this is called the EFMLA program. Number 5 on this screen, in addition to the above information, you must also provide to your employer written documentation in support of your paid sick leave as specified in applicable IRS forms, instructions, and information. So as an employee, you don't need to look into what the IRS policies are around FFCRA. It's totally sufficient for you to give the Office of Human Resources what we request above, and that's more than sufficient. So there's no need to go into IRS rules and regulations and get additional information. What we've asked for here and on the form is exactly what you will need. If at any point, though, you have any questions about documentation, you may discuss that with your leave services representative or contact your HR business partner. Now we're at the final section of the Federal Emergency Paid Sick Leave Request Form, and that's the signature section. You'll notice there is a place for the employee to sign. The employee's signature acknowledges that proper, truthful documentation has been provided and that the request for FFCRA leave has been discussed with the employee supervisor prior to submission of the form. This assures Human Resources that there is not a telework option available in this particular situation. You are also provided with instruction on where to email your form and the backup documentation. The supervisor will not have a say in the approval of FFCRA leave. That is at the discretion of the Office of Human Resources. Do you have any questions, either about completing the form or about the FFCRA in general? Then please contact your HR business partner directly. A complete listing of all colleges and business units is available at the HR website. Select the HR staff button in order to search for your business partner, or email us at askhr@uta.edu. And we want to thank you today for participating in our webinar. Again, I want to remind you that there are additional webinars that are out there on our HR website that cover the topic of FFCRA. We have a definitions webinar and also a scenario-based webinar. Have a good rest of your day.